This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam.
You came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every Year After follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every Year After, now streaming only on Prime.
On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, we go to an interstellar outpost very, very far away.
Yeah, all the way from Asheville, North Carolina.
It's the Bantha Milk Podcast. Yeah! Pour a glass of that blue milk, we know it's gonna last. With Rob and James behind the controls, discussing Jedi, Sith, and all the plot holes. Every week we're back, can't be denied. Got the hot takes flowing and the canon clarified.
All right, that song, we have if you're watching on YouTube right now or later, there's a third face here. We have a special guest today, which is super awesome. So everybody give a big, warm Bantha Milk welcome to Ron Mason. Yay! Hello, Ron. How are you?
Hello. Hello.
Awesome.
I'm doing great. How about you?
We are wonderful, wonderful,
Fantastic.
wonderful. So
right.
Ron's not here because of his IMDb page, but we will get into that also. Ron is here because he is in the middle of making something totally awesome. He is making what is called the Interstellar Outpost 181. This is an Airbnb, as James said, in Asheville, North Carolina, that will be all Star Wars themed. So we're going to get way into that, find out all this cool stuff about this amazing Airbnb. I've been following it on Instagram. It is so cool. The growth, the development of it so far is so exciting. I might have to take a trip to North Carolina just to visit this and stay in this Airbnb. It is that cool. But before we get into I would love to. I totally would love to. Are there? My wife is a big fan of the Buc-ee's. Are there any Buc-ee's nearby Asheville, North Carolina? If there is, sold. It's such an important question.
I have a con there from New Jersey, so I really can't answer that. But I do know when I'm currently on a project in Nashville, and I passed 2 Buc-ee's on the way to Asheville. And there's one on the way from Atlanta, which is really my home base.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, we'll have to keep driving. Yeah. But before we do that, we're going to get into what we're drinking tonight, because it is all about the blue milk. It is all about our Bantha milk. What are we drinking? So, Ron, I saw you had a beer in your hand earlier. Go ahead and tell us what you have down there in. You're not in North Carolina right now. You're somewhere else, but. What beer do you have where you are?
I'm in Nashville.
Okay.
Well, being that I'm in Nashville, this is a local beer here. It's the Dunkel, which is one of my favorites. I'm more into the Marzen and Dunkel and Gaelic Ale type situations. But this is a local brew, and it's quite good.
Awesome.
Dunkels are great.
Dunkels are great, yeah. James, what do you have?
I'm up in your neck of the woods from a Connecticut brewery. I've got a golden from Athletic Brewing Company. So it's called Upside Dawn.
Oh, there you go.
Upside Dawn.
Nice.
So,
I like how, since you're from Wisconsin, you think that Connecticut and New Jersey are so close to each other. That's funny to me.
They're so close to each other. All of your states up there are so tiny.
We're so tiny. Yes.
That is
Well, I know they're permanently closed, but apparently they're still shipping them out, because I found this on the shelf, a 21st Amendment Hell or High watermelon, made it all the way to New Jersey, even after the company closed down. So one of my favorite beers, it's so delicious. I sent a picture to my friend when I bought this, and he was like, we had that when we went to San Francisco. So it's really funny that they are still making their way across the country. So I love this beer as
Just keep
well.
showing up. That's great.
I know it just keeps showing up until they finally get rid of them. But yeah, nice, clear, and it's so good. Such a great beer. So there we go. Got a little pour there. It's going to clear up in a little bit. But yep. So that is what we're drinking. And how's your dunkel up there? Is it delicious?
It's awesome. Yes. Highly recommend it.
Nice. This is so good. I'm such a shame that this company went out of business. Anywho,
Just keep savoring it while you can.
I know. I have 3 left. I'm like, delicious. Anyway, we're here with Ron. And so we gave a little teaser about the Outpost. But before we do that, Ron, the man, has, and now I see how you're able to, and I said this beforehand, how you're able to build such an awesome outpost. But Ron has worked in the industry, the entertainment industry, for quite a few years now. He has done illustrations, set designs, all the way up to art department and art directors and things like that, set designers for such movies as TV shows as Tulsa King, recently Ironheart, Twisters, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Lord of the Rings. That's interesting. James, I think James is a big Lord of the Rings fan. The Ring of Powers, Magnum PI, the new Magnum
love
PI.
Lord of the Rings.
There you go.
So-
You guys can go off on Lord of the Rings. You guys can talk. He can tell you all the secrets that he did. Don't Look Up, Free Guy.
It's like my books are right there. They're so accessible, right there.
So why don't you first tell us how you got started and how you made it into being working in Hollywood and set designing and all that good stuff. So how did that come about?
Well, oddly enough, being in movies was the very first idea I had about a career when I was in like junior high, and this, I'll date myself here, but we, me and my friend Jamie Price, who actually ended up in the industry as well. He's a visual effects supervisor, oddly enough, and he's
Cool.
done some really great stuff too. But yeah, we used to make Super 8 movies together, and it actually attempted to do some science fiction. But as I went through got through high school, going through high school, everyone's like, no, you can't go out to California. I was in Ohio at the time, Columbus, Ohio is where I grew up. And everyone's like, no, film industry's too hard to get into. You got to know somebody and you got to, and I still went. I end up graduating from Ohio State in industrial design, which you guys may or may not know. One of my heroes is Joe Johnston, who he was an industrial designer. John Dystra, Ron Cobb, Sid Mead. Those are all industrial designers. So that seemed like a safer career path, right? But then I was in school, and I was at a science museum, and they had this exhibit of the science and art of movie making, and I saw all these other industrial designers, and they're in the film, and I'm like, I can do that too. So I graduated in the 90s and moved out to LA, and worked my way up. I didn't have any connections at all, really.
Nice.
And I just cold called a lot of people, and eventually got my start in commercials, which I was saying before. I did work on a Star Wars, actually 2 Star Wars themed commercials. And one was aired, one was not. The one that I actually did a lot more design on, it was for a Facebook device that never happened.
Interesting.
But did some really cool stuff. We got to actually design a part of the Death Star corridor with some elevators, and had crazy things like a stormtrooper wedding. They had Tatooine, meaning tattoos. They had stormtroopers getting tattoos.
Oh, that's
with
funny.
Wookiees. There was a volleyball game, but of course the Wookiees were dominating the stormtroopers, things like that.
That's
But
what I need on my team.
but
I'm a
yeah,
high
so
school
I
volleyball coach. Yeah, I need some Wookiees on my team. That's what I need.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be helpful. Yeah, so that I got into the union, which is a big part of being in the film industry. Got in the union and did a lot of television mostly. And my kids were little. I wanted to stay in town, and at that time there was a lot of TV production there, and I did that, and eventually I worked into features and had a chance to do some really great features and some good series, and yeah,
That's awesome.
that's kind of how I got started.
That's so cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, I've always had.
I want to ask so many questions about your like movie and thing, but I'm like, no, we're here to talk Star Wars and this beautiful project you have going on. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll talk about anything you want.
So I've always had the dream to be, in Hollywood and whatever. I've just never chased the dream the way you did. So that's awesome that you had enough, cojones to pick up, leave Ohio, go to LA, and like you said, cold call people and all that good stuff, and just keep trying to find your way until you finally worked your way in. And that's totally awesome, and that's so amazing. Because I don't think, like, I'm a dreamer more than actually chasing my dreams.
Sure.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that you went is awesome. I'm so jealous to anybody who says I'm gonna go and do it. Did you give yourself like a timeline? Like, if I don't get in by a certain time, I'm coming home, or I'm gonna try something else?
Well, I initially gave in my first wife at the time, we're going to do 2 years, and if we haven't made it, then we're going back to Ohio. Well, we realized that wasn't realistic,
Okay.
but and getting started at first was challenging, just getting connected and finding in networks and everything, and but we obviously ended up staying there for a while, and the industry is tough. It really is. I mean, unless you do come into it through family members, which that happens a lot. You just have to. It's about perseverance. It really is. And you just have to stick with it, and we had some tough times, but we got through it, and and then eventually I got to a point where there were a handful of people that I worked for, and I usually, with that group, I could always had another job coming there, and that's the part of it that isn't necessarily for everyone, is because you're hired project to project.
Yeah.
Project's over, you're out of job.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally you can line things up one after the other. Doesn't always work that way.
Yeah, we interviewed before a guy named Yaron Spiewak, and he's a music guy and wrote a lot of songs and composed different things. He wrote like soundtracks, like Disney soundtracks and things like that. And it was the same thing. He was like, yeah, because this ended, and then I had to wait to find somebody to hire me to move on to the next thing. And it's an interesting way of working, because when you make it to the top, and you're like, okay, this job's paying me X dollars, and it's okay if I don't have another job lined up, because I made so much on this one that I can wait to see when the next one is.
Well, that's the ideal, that you save up for the dry times.
Yeah.
thankfully, I haven't had too many of them. Recently, with COVID and then the actors and writers strike, that didn't do anyone any favors.
No.
And now we're seeing. I think all the streaming services were going gangbusters, trying to get as much content as possible, and now things are just slowing down. There's a lot of production going overseas, as I'm
Okay.
sure you guys know.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
and they're all the studios are chasing tax incentives wherever they can
Yeah.
go, and that's why Atlanta became such a hotbed,
Hmm.
because of Georgia's tax incentives. And and a lot of states did that, and somehow Georgia did it right, where it was benefiting the state.
Yeah.
Michigan had it for a while, and they didn't structure it right. And I don't know all the details about that, but yeah, and AI. Where
Yeah.
I'm not real optimistic about how AI is going to have an effect on all of our jobs.
And it's
Say that.
AI is like super scary because in the beginning, and the beginning of AI was like 6 months ago, practically, it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
But like in the beginning, it was easy because people had six fingers, or you know their hands are going through walls or something like that.
Yeah,
But it's progressing so fast that it's getting
yeah,
super scary. Like and the creative people are getting washed out because somebody can just write a prompt and just have a computer do all the creativeness. Now,
yeah,
other people have said you're not going to get that true heart and feel of a computer writing it versus a person writing it and a person doing it all. And I can see that as well. But I can also see, in the near future, a lot of people going, okay, this scene would cost blank dollars to have a set designer come build this and do this and blah, blah, blah. Or a tenth of that to have a computer do it in AI for me real fast. And I
well,
can
I mean,
see,
visual effects have kind of been that in the middle thing. I mean, and there are certain parts of visual effects that are kind of AI, but not
yeah,
like this. But I think what it is going to allow is a few creative people to do a lot more than what has traditionally been able to do.
yeah,
And on that hand, you might see a big, like, burst of lots of guys just, like, making a whole movie on their own. And you know uh we'll see how that all turns out. But
yeah.
and
I,
I go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hope that people don't support that, because I don't want to support one guy making an AI movie versus a team of people who actually put the heart and soul into it. And even getting back into Star Wars, how much have people cared so much more about the practical effects
Oh
versus
yeah,
the computer generated effects? Like they even George
look at
Lucas realized,
Andor.
yeah,
Look at Andor, and the production quality of that is, like, so superior to like Obi-Wan. They
hmm,
overused the volume. I mean,
yeah,
that's not AI, but you felt the volume. and
yeah,
I
you could,
and
yeah,
as well as some episodes of Mandalorian as well. I mean, you're out in the desert and it's dark, you know,
yeah,
there, because there are limits to how much you can light
hmm,
uh, when you're in a volume stage.
yeah,
Um, and
Mandalorian.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I love the Mandalorian talking this because like the first season when they used it, it was like, wow, this is so cool, and everyone's like, this is great. But you're right, I think as it's progressed, that you're
well,
losing a lot of it. So
if you're doing a cockpit, it's perfect. It's a
right,
perfect thing.
hmm,
The lights motivated from the screen. The actors can say, "Hey, look at that fighter going by." You know, it makes it more real, and that's
yeah,
a perfect usage for it. But sometimes as big as the volume can be, it's limiting. I mean, some of the gunfights.
right.
I
Yeah,
think
like
that it was just like they're 20 feet
they're
apart
20
because
feet
they don't
apart.
have any
Yeah.
more room. It's
Yeah,
like,
like
Yeah.
there's like scenes where they're walking through a tiny cavern because that's the width of the volume that they had to like make sure, okay, we got to keep you in this tight little groove here because this is all that we can spare in this volume. So yeah, and you know, once you get into more practical effects, or even in the Mandalorian and Grogu the movie, how they did a lot of stop motion stuff on top of it, which made it a lot of fun because it was like, okay, now we're getting back to what Star Wars was and the practical effects and all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
um, but enough about all that. We could talk to you about all your shows and all the cool things that you did. I do think that is awesome, and I'm very jealous because the fact that you were a set designer on so many different things is really, really cool. And I would love to know, you know, I've taken a tour of like studios and things like that, and you can see, you know, when they're building sets or this or that or whatever. But like, we're here for what your other project is, which is the Star
Yeah.
Wars based project, which is super cool. I'm going to
Yes.
actually try and pull up this page. So you are also creating, and I think it's awesome that you have gone through so many different versions of your outpost that you're going to do. So tell us about your outpost. You are making
Yeah.
an Airbnb here, which is so cool because the concept is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, I think a lot of people have the dream of building their own house, exactly the way they want it, and that was the genesis for sure. But then we, thought about, wait a minute, I'm gone so much with my work, and it's like, oh well, let's build a place that we can rent, and then every it all it evolved.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was that what you're seeing there from Scarif and the Endor bunker. Those were my two main influences
Uh huh.
for for Outpost 181. Um,
And you can totally see it too, and it's so cool that it looks so much like a Star Wars outpost. Like if there wasn't somebody who knew, like, here's your computer generated rendering of it, and it so looks like such a Star Wars outpost, which is so cool. Um, so yeah, so you're going to be away all the time. So you decided you're going to build an Airbnb, and you want to have a place for, I keep saying, for all of your Star Wars toys because I've seen some of the videos that you've posted as well, which is so
well,
cool.
I it my whole thing is that inside and out, I want to make it as much a set or in universe kind of thing that is possible. You know, one thing that is really nice is I'm in a nice little valley that's completely private, and you don't see anybody else. You don't see any mankind or any structures or anything. Um, so that's really nice, and that helps take you to another place.
Yeah.
But the in universe, that's something that I constantly have to like knock over my head and say, like, what would it be like, and as much as and I'm sure you guys have been to Star Wars themed Airbnbs, and it has the posters and minute a lot of things on display, not unlike what's behind you guys.
Yeah.
And that's cool and that's fine, but that's not what I wanted to do.
No.
I wanted to make it like, okay, if this was something that the Empire plopped down in the middle of a forest planet, what might it look like? And I also have to make some accommodations for 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 having like a private bedroom, which may or may not happen in it. But my idea, the whole idea is that it's more of a barracks outpost situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We had. go ahead.
I'm curious, like thinking about you putting this all together with all your experience in set design, you're really good at making things that look good on camera. How is it building things that like people can live in and use in comparison?
It's more of a challenge for sure. You know, it when we're building sets, you never care about how long it's going to last.
Right.
Because many times you build a set and it's torn down weeks later. Even the biggest sets that you can have are gone usually. You know, when I worked on Avengers, we had so many sets that were just huge, but then they had to tear it down to make room for the next set for the next part of the movie. But it is definitely more of a challenge. Have to pick materials that are going to hold up to the weather, uh, and yeah, I mean, and yeah, and just like doing, the front doors, they are electric opening pocket doors, and
Oh,
all the
that's cool.
doors in there are pocket doors. Uh,
Which is such a Star Wars door. Yeah, like
yeah,
there's no doors in Star Wars that open out. They're all pocket doors. So
they're all or guillotine doors,
yeah,
but those
Yeah.
are
like in the
completely impractical.
yeah.
I mean, the designer part of me is like, okay, so to have a guillotine door, that means you have to plan space above for
And
that
below,
door to
yeah.
go into, and the
Uh-huh.
next
That's
level, and the next
terrible.
level. It just doesn't make any sense. And from a safety standpoint, it's just not a good thing. You don't want,
Right. I mean, we saw what happened in the first episode of The Mandalorian. The guy fell into the door as it closed around them and chopped the person in half. You
yeah,
don't want your guest of the Airbnb to
no,
get chopped in half by a guillotine door.
absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
yeah, and as much as I would have liked the doors to go fast, open faster, close faster, there's safety concerns, and
Sure,
I got
yeah.
them to go as fast as they could. But still, though, you could put your finger in the middle of it and it won't crush it. So,
Okay.
which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
'Cause kids, babies, you know. Uh, I'm really not going to have, as much as I love pets. Not going to be pets aren't going to be allowed. There's too many. There's going to be too many things that they could
Yeah,
mess
yeah.
up.
Yep,
Uh, but
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, there's where I'm. Every part of it, I'm trying to curate. Yeah, that's before we got the nice scenic job on it.
Yeah. But
It's
even
really
this, like, this is just so beautiful. Like the detailing on the front of the outpost is so amazing. It looks so cool. Like you
thank you.
said, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, like you said, like people want a Star Wars room. Like I like you said, I want a Star Wars room. I have Star Wars tchotchkes and knickknacks and stuff behind me. And once again, like I said earlier, how it's like, you went to LA. You said, I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to try and I'm going to succeed. And you did. I have an idea for this, whatever this room is, 12 by 12 room that I have here. It's in my head, but I never make it to Home Depot to buy all the extra things. I have a couple little walls, the light walls that I made, um, like the that are on like the Imperial Star Destroyers and things like that.
Yeah,
But like,
I'll
you
have
know,
those too.
yeah, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
But like, right now it's just like how much Star Wars stuff can I stick on the wall behind me? Where you're building like you're walking in, it's like the Star Wars vacation in Disney World. Like you're immersing yourself in it. It's not just like, hey, here's my Star Wars stuff, my Star Wars posters and things. Like
right.
people who go here are gonna want to wear Jedi robes the entire time.
Well,
Like
I figure cosplayers are going to be a
oh
big market for this.
yeah, it's going to be amazing. You're going to see so many people come, so many like Star Wars influencers that are going to come and like this is working our way backwards now, but coming and like taking so many shots and stuff. This is going to be so amazing. This is such a cool idea and a cool concept. And when I saw it, I was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're doing what everybody who's a Star Wars fan wants to do. So you're doing it. So like we've talked about it a little bit, but what at what point did you say, like, what was the inspiration? Or at what point did you say, like, let's do this? And
Well, I mean, I knew I felt like I had to do this. Enough people saying it's like, oh, that's a great idea. You got to do it. And, you know, and I didn't, you know, I didn't have anyone naysaying at all. I mean, with the possible exception of people are like, well, don't you think Lucasfilm's going to come after you? And I'm like, well, I'm not. First of all, you'll notice I don't say anything that it's a Star Wars Airbnb. I saw other people do that and they get away with it,
right.
but I don't want to do that. And you know, I created my own Imperial-ish cog. It's not. It's obviously it's not round like the
Sure.
Empire. It's not
Mhm.
exactly like First Order. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
It feels like it, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know,
It's definitely a little different. Sure. Yep.
yeah. But and again, I was inspired by a lot of the design, and my thinking is that, you know, they don't. It's It's a style of architecture,
Yeah.
and I'm not copying anything specifically.
No.
I'm inspired by it.
Right.
Um,
And yeah. And as long as you're inspired by it, like you're not like it's not screen accurate. Like you're not an exact replica of the Endor uh
right.
scene, or you're not an exact replica of being on an Imperial Star Destroyer or something like that. It's all inspired by it. So I don't think, I mean, I'm no lawyer or anything, but you know.
Nor am I, but we will find out. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to taunt Lucasfilm or anything like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
no.
obviously, we love what they do, but um, yeah,
It
And
gets to challenge a lot of your design decisions, right? And so you get to really live in that.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, when working in the film industry, you do like with logos. That's the place where the companies tend to get really bent out of shape about using their logos, and
Mhm.
didn't not going to use the official Imperial logo anywhere. And there might be some purists that might fault me for that, and that's fair enough. But
Yeah.
you know, but again, again, it's inspired by it. I wanted to make it my own, and I've always loved the Quonset hut, the big arch building.
Mhm.
There's like an elegance to it and a strength to it that I've always liked, and yeah, and so you know, there's that one building in Scariff that you showed earlier that was like, okay, this is kind of in the realm of what I want to do. But,
Yeah. Yeah, all the way
so,
back. And I also like that you have first version, second version, third
well,
version, hexagon version, then the scarif arch here, which is kind of what it's based off of, but like this is more of a hangar type thing where yours, the doorway and everything is different, but
yeah,
all the
much
little.
larger scale.
Yeah, yeah, and like the grooves and everything, like you see the grooves that you have in yours that are, similar to this, that make you go, that's definitely a Star Wars building without having the word Star Wars or having any Star Wars branding on it whatsoever. You look at it and you go, dude, that could be in a Star Wars movie, like totally see that. And like you said, how you matched your door up to look similar to the Endor door, so it's similar but not exact. So it's super cool. I'm super jealous that you're doing this and you're following through on this, and so many people have had the idea to do it, but you actually are like, I'm going to do it, which is really, really cool. And then we go from the rendering, and then the inside rendering, there's the wall that I was talking about, your light walls, which are really cool. Um,
And,
so I
and
love,
again, those are not, obviously they're not literally the Death Star
yeah,
lights, but I also was working, had to be a little practical, and those are 2x4 LED panels that are stacked on each other, and then I had to work with that, and I actually think if I had gone the 4 foot wide like they did in the movie, I think it would have been out of proportion to this
Okay.
space.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, and with the stairs, which actually, well, I'm pointing. No one else can see what I'm
Yeah,
pointing at.
yeah, we see. Yeah.
Oh, we totally see what you're pointing at.
But the stairs are reminiscent of the Cloud City, the Carbonite.
Yeah.
room. And I mean, once I decided I was going to have stairs, it's like, well, I have to put lights on the front.
Yes.
You
Oh
have
my
to.
gosh. Yes,
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah. And some of these are a little older. The walkthrough has the more current.
Yeah, I saw the walkthrough. Yeah, and like a lot of these images now are. So did you? What you computer generated all these images first, and then do you get like the blueprints and everything directly off of these, or like what was
No, I
your
have
process?
to create it.
Okay.
Well, I build it in 3D first.
Okay.
And I work in SketchUp.
Okay.
And this whole model is a SketchUp model, and then from there you develop all the blueprints for the carpenters to work from.
Very cool. I love. I just skipped through all the SketchUp models because I wanted to get to your images that you have of the building actually being built from, and now your hoop that's going in, and then you go from the one picture of the partially finished hoop, and then the next picture, bam, here's a building all around it, and it's like, holy cow! Like once you get to the even the building in like yellow and Tyvek, it's like, oh yeah, there's definitely going to be a Star Wars building there or Star Wars-esque building there.
Yeah.
So it's so cool. And then you
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, you see Quonset huts around, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you see them along the highway for storage and
Uh-huh.
whatnot, and that's usually what they're used for. There are Quonset homes around that do exist, but that's why I didn't want to just have it just be a half art or half circle.
Yeah.
On the end, I felt like it really needed a little extra it kind of exaggerates the perspective a little more, and it gives it a little more personality.
Yeah.
As you were designing this out, did you like have a place that you imagined it was? Like this was dropped in an outer rim planet or on a forest planet where you're surrounded by, right?
That is kind of. I mean, once we bought the 13 acres.
So cool.
Yeah, I love going up there just because it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
I've got a couple creeks. I have my own water source, and it's all at 3,100 feet and goes up to the ridge line, and it's like 3,600 feet at the top. Very, very wilderness. Nobody around. Lots of animals.
Very cool.
But we got the land first, and at first I would, that first concept that you showed, that was my first instinct. It was more like just giant. When it's so beautiful, I wanted to have these giant windows, similar to like Star Destroyer bridges and the control tower in Scarif. But that just costed out way too much. So then I reduced it, which was that second version, and oddly, and purely by coincidence, ended up looking a lot like Mando's little cottage at the end.
Okay.
At the end of the series, which was totally by coincidence. And I was showing somebody that when that model was what I was going to go with, it was somebody who had worked on Mandalorian, and they said, this looks just she couldn't say anything because it hadn't been broadcast yet. But it's a lot like it. I mean, it's just the weirdest coincidence. But
They were
But
like,
I also,
wow.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty similar in proportions and everything.
That's really
Layout,
funny.
but 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 uh, but it didn't. It wasn't exciting me. This version that you're showing here. I mean,
Okay.
it would still be fun and
Yeah.
everything, but it was a little small. I felt, and I went to the Arch, to the
Okay.
Quonset hut. Well, no, that's right. I did go to the Hexagon after that.
You went to the
Uh,
hexagon then, yeah. They're trying to
and
make it a little bit bigger with a hexagon, which is a neat concept also, but
yeah,
yeah, I
it,
think the arch was definitely the way to go. Like,
it's a lot more dramatic, I think.
yeah. Yeah, once
It
you see
definitely.
the
When you
yeah.
drive up to it, when you guys eventually drive up to it, you're gonna love it.
Oh my god.
I still kind of, it takes me back still
I
when I
know. I
drive up
mean,
it.
just looking at the pictures, like I want to go now. And I know it's not even done, and I want to go now. I just want to be like it's like that feeling you get when you walk into Galaxy's Edge and you're like, I'm here. But like when you walk into Galaxy's Edge, you're here with 5,000 people standing right next to you.
Yeah,
But in this, you come to your Airbnb and you're here in the middle of 12 acres and it's just your people that are there, so it's
yeah,
like I'm living in Star Wars, like so
that's the
cool.
idea.
Yeah,
That
oh
is
my god.
exactly the idea. And and I've even I've even gone so far as to like, I really like curated like what silverware to use.
Nice.
I'm not just like going to Target and just buying whatever.
Yeah.
It's like uh, I I probably like bought like 6 or 8 different sets that I thought would be right, and I finally got on. I found one that I really like that feels military. It's not super polished and shiny or anything, but it's got a great look. Um,
Well,
and all the dishes, all the, and even when you walk in, you're not going to see a coffee maker and a toaster and a microwave. It's all going to be hidden in what is like the control room of the Death Star.
yeah.
So what I'm
You
So
hearing
know,
is this project was just an excuse for you to have to watch Star Wars things for research.
uh, sure, yeah.
sure.
I did a lot. I can't tell you how many times I would be watching them taking pictures, just you know with my camera because it doesn't block it, right? And so I just get really close,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, okay, yeah, I want to copy that,
Yeah.
not
So
copy that, be inspired by it.
so
Yeah.
small scale version of what you're doing is my chair that I made. It's kind of hard to see, but I based it off of I did the same exact thing that you were talking about. In the first season of The Mandalorian, when he got into um the what's the name of his ship, the bigger ship that he then blew up at the end of the first season. I was very angry.
Um,
The
the silver,
That poor
the
shit.
Razor Crest.
the Razor Crest, yes.
Razor
When he got into the Razor Crest, I was like, "Oh, that is such a cool chair," because the foam was cut at certain ways and it had its headrest and all that stuff. And I was like, "I'm gonna make my own Razor Crest chair." So same thing. I sat through. I was watching intently the first season, and every time he got into his ship, paused and taken a picture, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like that. Whatever."
yeah,
And that was just for one chair. Like you're
yeah.
doing this for an entire building. So that's awesome. That is so so cool. Um, I will tell you because I watched this show on Amazon Prime called Clarkson's Farm. Jeremy Clarkson, he owns a farm in England, whatever. But he started a
Mhm.
pub and he was talking about all of the loss in the pub. And he was saying like 400 mugs, like glasses, have been stolen from his pub. So if you have a very special, very specific silverware, I would make sure you have a little extra sets of them laying
Oh,
like
yeah,
hidden
of course.
because
Yeah, yes, exactly. I mean, we've got extra of everything. Although, if it goes, part of the whole turn, as
oh
any
yeah,
Airbnb, you have the cleaning service, and inventory is going to be very important.
Yes. Oh,
And,
especially with a
Mhm.
building like this, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, and I do want to have things that people are supposed to take with them, but then it's like, oh, if you like this, you can take it, and I charge you for it.
Yeah.
It's just like point of purchase kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, but some things are going to be pretty irreplaceable, like our R2 unit that Phil Ledford, who lives in the area, he's a droid builder, and he converted the R2 that you can get from Home Depot.
Okay.
He's done an incredible job, a meticulous job of turning it into an Imperial droid.
Yeah.
Which our name for it is R2ZK.
Okay.
Zeke is our nickname for him.
Very nice.
And we
Love
and he and Dean Plantamura, who is my marketing guy, they came up with the sounds, different sounds. Instead of using the stock R2 sounds, they figured out how to. It's out of my wheelhouse for sure, but
That's
they
incredible.
figured out how to change the sound so it sounds more, threatening,
Sure. More imperial. Yeah.
yeah, a deeper sound, and yeah, so that's virtually irreplaceable, and if somebody damages that,
Yeah. That's a one of one item right there.
yeah, there's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of credits involved in that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other details or secrets that you've hidden in that you're like, people should know about this?
Well, if I tell everyone, it's
Easter
not
Well,
eggs?
you don't
Yeah.
have to tell.
right?
You don't have to tell.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, one thing that we do plan eventually is to have like an escape room kind of thing,
Oh, that'd be cool.
Cool.
so
Yeah.
that at some point, the red light goes on and there's an alarm, and and I'm not saying this is literally it, but like the reactor is overheating, and what do you need to do? And the challenges with that is you can't have someone there hosting it, doing
Right.
giving them hints and everything. But
Yeah.
Dean had this great idea of building up a whole backstory to it, so that if people are more into it, they can like study the backstory, and then they'll know where to go for the secret panel.
That's really cool.
I'm building it into the walls and stuff, that there are going to be places. At this point, they're not thoroughly fleshed out, but they will. I have electricity going to them, so I can put something there that I want. But yeah, that is in our plans.
So-
right now, we're trying to focus on just getting it done. Right?
Getting it done.
That
So
makes
when I
sense.
get there, I'm just gonna start touching every wall, seeing what
Okay.
opens and what moves.
Yeah.
w-
You
the one
talk about lore and backstory,
Hmm.
and we haven't asked why Outpost 181.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that is my address,
Okay.
which
Oh,
I did get to pick.
Okay.
Because it was raw. It was raw land. Didn't have an address assigned to it, and I got to pick my own address.
So does 181 mean something special to you? Is it a special number to you?
Well, eights have been a big part of my life. My social security number has a lot of eights.
All right.
I had a phone
Right-
number.
writing
Yeah,
that
I
down.
know.
I'm writing down. I'm gonna start with all eights and then just work my
Nine
way back
eights.
from there.
When I first moved to Los Angeles, I had a phone number that was literally 818-881-8884.
Oh,
gosh.
that 4 always
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of significance with 8 for me. So, but
Very cool.
I had to, you had to pick an address within a certain range. And it
Okay.
had to be odd. I really wanted it to be 138, but I was on the wrong side of the road for that.
Oh, because it's
Yeah.
really odd. Yep.
Yeah.
Should have bought it on the
138
other
would have
side.
Yeah. What can you do?
What can you do? So as we know, you're in the middle of building it right now. And also for everybody listening, check out his Instagram, which is Imperial Outpost. Is it? What's the whole?
Interstellar
Is there
Outpost.
Interstellar Outpost? Is it 181 or
Just Interstellar Outposts.
okay? There we go. So
Ho-
I butchered
Hopefully,
that. I
this is the
apologize.
first of others.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I was gonna ask. I'm like, that's good branding. That's like, there's
Yeah.
gonna be more outposts at some point, maybe, huh?
That is the plan. Within just on the property, I think the next one's going to be a total departure from this kind of thing. I'd like to do a little Yoda's hut kind of thing.
Cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I hope not to scale. I'm 6'3", so I won't be able to fit in that one.
That is the challenge, because
Yeah.
I have done some preliminary design on it, and the challenge is, obviously, if it's true to the movie, everyone's crouching in it all the time, and obviously no one wants to do that.
No.
It'll still be small. It has to be small, but it's
Yeah.
definitely going to be very rustic and look like it's made out of mud, and it's got to have a fireplace in it. But that's down the road. Right now, I gotta focus on this.
So so we're still in the middle of building it. So what is your goal for completion?
July sometime.
Okay, so we're not too far off, which is
We're
awesome.
not too far off. No. I hope well, that means a month or so away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so drywall's going up, so yeah, I mean, we've gone through our rough inspection, which is a big deal when you're building a house. And so, yeah, we're so close. We're so
awesome.
Close.
And the video fly through that you shared with me, which is also one of the latest, if not the latest, Instagram post that you have. That's the final rendering now of what the inside of the house is going to look like.
Yeah, it's very close. It's very close. Like the furniture that's in there. If you want to go to it, but
sure, yeah.
I actually I'm going to have the main table. I guess it's a dining table, but it was very inspired by one of the episodes in Andor.
Okay.
I don't know if you recall.
Oh yeah. And yeah. Yep.
Very inspired by. That's a custom piece of furniture that I'm doing, and then
that's cool.
And then the beds. We're gonna have the commander's quarters, as we're calling it. It's gonna have a queen bed in it.
Okay.
But after that, they're all gonna be kind of military bunks.
Yeah.
So it could sleep around like what? Stop. Go back.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's the kitchen control room.
Okay.
But we're calling the living area our briefing room.
Okay.
Because we're going to have that massive monitor and what we call our Vader chairs.
Okay.
Great.
So this is going into now we're going up the steps. So this is what we're looking at now. This is the control room or the Vader chairs, right?
Yeah, they're great chairs that Dean found that just feel very Star Wars.
Yeah,
and I've already made the little cargo boxes that I'm using as side
end tables. Nice, very nice.
Gotta have the cargo boxes.
And then this doorway here, this goes to
that's a half bathroom.
Okay. All right, very cool.
And then
this is the kitchen here?
That is the kitchen.
Okay.
And you won't even see the faucet when you walk in.
No.
I found the folding faucet.
That's so cool.
Cool.
And so when you walk in, it's just all going to be black. I found these perfect cutting boards that fit into the sink area, and so when you come in, you won't even see the sink. You pull off the cutting boards, and then
the sink will be there. Very cool.
Yeah, and then all the areas, the red and the area below, that's going to be, I guess, what they call a appliance garage.
Okay.
I just learned that pretty recently. I don't work in the real world so much. It's a place to hide all the appliances. So And you'll also notice there's not a big refrigerator.
No.
Because that again seemed too terrestrial
Yes.
for me. So I doing under counter refrigerator, ice maker, and freezer.
Okay.
So it just doesn't break the whole the look of it, you know.
Right. Exactly.
But I still obviously need it to be functional. I still need to have all those things. But hopefully people are going into Asheville and enjoying all the great restaurants and places there. But if you're hanging out here, you need to be able to.
You want to still be able to cook and do something or have some cold beverages while you're here. Sure.
Yeah. Got a control podium. I had to have a control podium.
Very nice.
That's what I call it. I don't know if there's a real term for that.
That's where Kylo Ren stands. So you need to have that. Yes.
Well, yeah, you see those in a lot of them. And,
so many spaces. Yeah.
And there's so many different versions. Oh my goodness. Have you guys ever, I've studied these.
See, that's a difference.
I haven't put nearly as much thought. Yeah.
There's so many different versions. I think my favorite are the ones in Rogue One.
Okay.
You know, just the ones from the original and the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and they look so different every time. It's kind of crazy.
That is funny. And then the upstairs door, this goes to the captain's quarters. Is that what you were calling it?
No, there's a balcony.
Okay.
Balcony out there.
There's a balcony there.
Cool.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's the back wall, and then there are windows looking out onto the back behind it. That's what those are.
Yes. Okay. There's a really nice view looking up the hill, and
very cool.
Yeah.
And then,
perfect for your morning calf. That's a great idea.
Yes.
So.
And we have screen accurate coffee mugs.
Oh, very
just
cool.
Like an Andor.
Very cool.
Yes. Yeah. Dean figured out how to do those, and we've got quite a few made.
Very cool.
Ready to go.
And then these are the other bunks up here.
Yeah.
On the top, up here at the top are the three other bunks. And then where will the queen bed be? Is that downstairs?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Looking over the kitchen. Underneath where those beds are there.
Yeah, it's towards the front.
Okay. Very cool. All right, we're looking into the half bath here.
Yeah.
All the news is going to be displayed on the mirror there, written in Auerbesh, I'm sure. And then here's the here's the master.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Very cool.
The commander's room. Very cool.
Commander's room. Yeah. Are these cutouts? Are there going to be TVs pushed behind these? So
those will be monitors.
Oh man.
Yeah. Building a surround so it doesn't look just like a regular monitor.
Very cool.
That's cool.
I couldn't live with myself if I just put a regular monitor.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, if you're gonna go this far, you got to go all the way, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a full bath here next to this. Awesome.
Yeah. There's the water closet.
There you go. Very cool. Still with the whole Star Wars theme all the way through, even into the shower. I love it. This is amazing. So, so what is it? Three beds upstairs, and then
technically it's there's another bedroom to the right of the stairs.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, and that is going to be more of a, now that's an area that could be, configured differently if somebody actually, had the need. You just wanted 2 bunks there, or potentially 4. Yeah.
You've got some flexibility built in, and that's just smart.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. We figured our audience is probably going to be either families where the parents would want the queen bed, and then all the kids are in all the other bunks, or it's going to be like a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cosplayers.
Yeah.
And generally with that kind of thing, whoever rents it gets the biggest bed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Whoever's the one organizing it, they get that bed. and then everyone else can sleep separately. And
Yeah.
I we really didn't think that we're going to have too many like two couples.
Right.
I mean, and if so, you could put the two bunks together if you really want to sleep together.
You'll be fine for a night. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this
So,
is super awesome. I'm so happy. Like
thank you.
I'm so
So
happy I
kind.
stumbled upon it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." Like you're doing the whole thing and it's like from the time you walk in, you are completely immersed. It's like it's like a Disney-esque feeling that you're like complete immersion, which is so cool. And it's I can't wait for people to come and visit it. And then how many different pictures and stuff you get from people who are like loving this and having so much fun. And uh just you can tell the hours that you have put in watching, like James said,
Hours.
you know days, weeks, months that you have put
I
in just watching a film over and over again, being like, oh, I want that one and I want that and I'm going to put this in and I'm going to do something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, it's so cool.
No, it's it's definitely been a journey. And anyone who's built a house knows the challenge of that. And this is not only is this the first time I've built a house, but also I've added to the fact that it's not a cookie cutter house.
Yeah.
There's no just it wasn't like going to a development and picking one of 12 different floor plans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was yeah. It's definitely the next one will be easier.
Exactly.
Sure.
You learn from
Always
the
is.
first one.
Definitely had some hiccups along the way, but I think it's going to be really great. And it's definitely become a kind of a passion project for me. And I just hope everyone enjoys it as much as I've enjoyed putting it together.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed watching it so far, and it's not even done. So I've definitely enjoyed watching you build it. So I'm so impressed and so happy. So yeah.
Have you thought about it at all as this is you leaving like a legacy piece for Star Wars fans and people who enjoy the universe and like you're adding to the world for people?
Gosh, no, I haven't thought about that. That's an interesting question. Uh, I have to imagine that it will be existing for quite a while.
Yeah.
But and I'd like to think that it's going to end up being in some fan films at least. Well, matter of fact, there's one person has approached me already. Jake Sutton with Guardian Squadron. I don't know if you've ever heard of Guardian Squadron, but it's canon in Legends, and he's once he saw this, he wanted to rewrite it so that the rebels take over this old Imperial outpost, and then they use it as their outpost. As soon as it's open, we're probably going to be doing that.
That's
very
cool.
soon, and filming that there. So then it'll be like, oh, as a scene in Guardian Squadron. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to think others might jump on that, because I
Oh.
mean, where else are you going to find an interior exterior set that you can film at?
Yeah, or even that you can go play in for that matter.
Yeah.
Like you can rent it for the weekend, for a week, whatever, and just live your Star Wars life. Like I can see people, even people who aren't planning on filming a movie, but just showing up with nothing but Star Wars clothes, and just like waking up, putting on Jedi robes and just walking around in Jedi robes all day because they just want to, embrace the whole thing. Like it would be so, so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once again, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. So there's your Instagram is Interstellar Outpost. You have a website.
Yes, the same name, interstellaraoutposts.com.
Okay, and that's plural with an S.
Yes.
And there's when will we be able to start booking our stay in the Interstellar Outpost?
Well, I'm very hesitant to start booking until I 100% know exactly that it's ready to go. Because
Okay.
I do, I don't want to just get it done and then throw guests into it. I want to make sure to beta test it a little bit, make sure that there's no surprises, nothing breaks, and I want to make sure that when people have their first impression, that it's a good one. So I as much as I want to rush it, I don't want to rush it.
Sure.
At the same time,
Sure.
I want it to be right for someone. But I mean, we'll probably go with Airbnb and Verbo to start out.
Okay.
And maybe eventually we'll do our own website, so you can do direct booking and save a little money, and we don't have to pay the fees for them. But to start out, I think we're just going to make it easy on ourselves and go that route.
Awesome. So you're hoping to be done by July. So I know I don't want to rush you, but I'm just trying to, plan it like
what is the theatrical release?
Yeah,
You've
what's
got
the
a
theatrical
deadline.
release? Are we thinking August? Are we thinking September?
No.
Are we thinking 2027? Like, what are you thinking?
No.
General
Well,
theatrical release. Like, we need to go.
Theatrical release.
We need to book our flights. So
Yeah, late. I'm really hoping late July we're operational.
Okay.
Fully armed and operational. And
Mhm.
but we also want to have some events there too. It's big enough that it can support some smaller events.
Okay.
Like a sabacc tournament, or
That would be fun.
or
Yeah.
Cool idea.
things like that, or just a 501st
Mhm.
event, or Rebel Legions event, or any of those kind of things. I definitely want to do that kind of thing, and I want to like midweek, when maybe not as many people are renting it, do some charity events too. I know that similar to what the 501st, good, they're bad guys doing good, and I
Yeah.
like that idea, and I'd like to at least have a percentage of my of the proceeds go to charity, things like that. But yeah,
James, I was
there
gonna
could
say,
be, you could have like wedding, some small weddings.
such
there.
a cool wedding venue. Yeah.
Yeah.
James and I we'll drive down for a day. We'll record a podcast from there, and then
Yeah, absolutely.
I say drive down because he's from Wisconsin, so it's a quick drive.
Yeah.
to North
Yeah,
Carolina.
right.
Quick drive, no problem.
Not all the states are as small
18
as
hours?
yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, every state is the size of New Jersey. What are you talking about? Come
Yeah,
on,
3 hours and you can be top to bottom, right?
top to bottom, and it's a long 3 hours too. Let me tell you, you got Newark to deal with. You drive around New York City. It's a
No,
mess.
no.
That's nothing. 3 hours.
All right. Well, this is totally awesome. So, all right. So hopefully the end of July, people will be able to start booking. That'll be amazing. If not, when he's ready, you're not going to release it until it's awesome, which is also what I like. Like, you're not just trying to, throw it out there and say, hey, it's done, whatever. Like, you spent this much time and effort on making it awesome so far. You want to make sure that it is super awesome. So super excited about that. If you had unlimited money, unlimited budget, what would one big thing be that you would add to this? If you had an unlimited budget, it would be like, what would a showstopper be? It'd be like, bam, check this out.
Oh, well, interesting. I think probably a bridge that goes from the balcony to the landing behind it.
Oh, that would
Which
be really
still
cool.
could happen. A little man bridge with, of course, the same stanchions that I'm using for the railing and all that kind of stuff. But a big old turret out front would be
that.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would really be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love the original Death Star turrets. I love the simplicity of them, and I think that would be great.
Could you make it a bubble gun? So it's a giant turret that shoots bubbles.
Anything is possible.
That can be part of the escape room. Is you got to make the turret shoot bubbles, and
Yeah.
that it only you can only do it one
And
time.
it saves the planet when
It
you do
saves the
that.
planet. Yeah, it cleans the
Yes,
planet. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
no, I would love to have, like trails. I mean, I'm gonna have a trail, but I'd love to have like little bits of like a crashed spaceship or um, eh, or like target practice silhouettes of well, a Wookiee. That would
yeah,
be kind
because
of
yeah,
like the whole Bigfoot kind of thing,
that would be fun.
or little Ewok silhouettes for target practice, that kind of thing.
Could you have
But
like a
Mhm.
meditation station with that like Grogu sat in the
Ooh.
middle of when
oh
him and Mando like the
yeah,
things coming up? That would be really neat in the middle of the woods. That would be cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to do that. And I eventually would like to do something like an Ewok tree village. I,
Oh,
I
that
have
would be
I have a
really
good
cool.
place for it up there. But as you can imagine, as you go up the hill, it gets steeper and steeper,
Yeah.
and it gets a little more challenging to build. But I would,
Yeah.
I do, that's the next one. After the Yoda's hut, I'd love to do a little kind of basically three wooden yurts that are connected with a fireplace in the middle. So one big family could rent it, or you could just have individuals and then they meet in the fireplace, and it could be a nice community thing. But,
Well, I love the fact that you are not stopping at one. You already have the ideas for multiple different ones, all different styles. And
yeah,
it goes into the fact that the Interstellar Outposts plural is the website because right
yeah,
now there's only one, but you already have the vision for more, which is super, super cool.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's totally awesome. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We've had you for over an hour already. This is awesome. Um, James, do you have any final questions for him?
No, I think we've learned so much. Just
Yeah,
really appreciate all your time and
yeah.
even more so the hard work into what you've been doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's awesome.
I
It's amazing.
appreciate that. Thank you. That's very
It's so
kind.
cool. Yeah, I the
Very
pictures
kind.
are amazing. I can't wait to see. I would love to see it in person. It'll be even more
Yeah.
awesome in person than it is from the pictures. So
Well,
it's
well,
so cool.
you'll see more pictures of as soon as we have more pictures of the interior. You're going to see them on Instagram for sure.
That's so cool. That is very, very cool. All right. We're gonna take a commercial break, and when we come back after this break, we'll go into all the things we normally do first. But we wanted to talk to Ron first because he's that cool.
Ah.
So so we'll go
No.
over some news and some Jedi of the Week stuff after this, even though there's really not much news this week, but that's okay. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll be back after these commercial breaks.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Back. That was a lot of fun.
Hey.
Hey,
That was.
Ron's an awesome dude. That was so cool. It's cool meeting him. I loved that he was able to, he said, I'm going to build this. And he actually did it. Where I have thousands of ideas, but after like 3 days, I give up on my ideas and my hopes and my dreams. And
The difference of like having actually built things before and having people around you that will help you build it, I think goes a really long way.
yes,
So
yeah, most definitely. All right. Well, before we sign off, we're going to do everything backwards. So, James, why don't you tell everybody about all the other shows on the network?
yeah.
Tell us who else is on this network that we call the Ears Up Network.
Absolutely. So, two new shows you can listen to between this one and the last one that came out. Ears Up, our flagship one, has an update on Disney news, as they do. Taylor Swift on it as well. No, just a
What?
mention, but
Oh,
but there to find out. Otherwise, new episode from the Buena Vista Boys watching The Love Bug,
I
going
love
way back
Kirby the
with
Love
Herbie.
Bug. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, otherwise, if you're not caught up on everything, there's always the Supreme Resort, Puny Pod, an MCU podcast, Scraping the Vault, and Fantasyland Draft League. Plenty for your podcast listening pleasure.
BTW, this guy right here, not you, but this guy won the vote for best Star Wars draft in Fantasyland Draft League, and I didn't even vote for myself. That's how
I
awesome I
voted
am.
for you because I couldn't vote for myself. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I'm like, I should have voted for me.
You should have voted for you. You would have won then. Well, thank you for
I
voting for me.
know.
Yeah, I
You're
forgot all about it. Otherwise, I would have.
I'm
I
here for
voted for
you,
myself the
so.
first time and still lost. So that's okay.
Mhm.
All right. So we got a little bit of news.
Star Wars news. Star Wars news.
All right. The show's going on for a long time. So all the little songs are going to be real quick.
Just go fast. Yep.
Let's go fast. All the news this week that I'm seeing is all how bad The Mandalorian Grogu is. So bad. Everybody hates it. Nobody went to see it. The prices are down. Every week it's going down and down and down.
Just pile on.
Keep telling everybody how bad it is.
Easy click article.
I saw it a second time. I went back.
Oh,
I went back on a Wednesday. Now, I did only pay $7 for it, but I did go back on a Wednesday, and I saw it a second time. So, funny story. I had to take my dogs to the groomers. Took them to the groomers at 8:00 in the morning. Movie started at 11:15. Get there at 11:15. There's 30 minutes of previews. At 11:45, right as the previews end, I get a text message that the dogs are done being groomed. So I had two choices: leave the dogs at the groomers for 2 more hours, or run home, get them, and run back to the movie. So which one would you have chosen?
I would have watched the first hour of the movie and then gotten the dogs.
Because when during the Grogu part, that
Yeah,
would have been
I'm
the
okay
smarter
missing
part.
the second half.
Yeah,
So
okay. Yeah, that's what I should have done. But I was
option
like,
C, always the
option
answer.
C, yes. So I went to the guys working at the front desk, and I said, in watching Mandalorian Grogu, I've already seen it. I'll be right back. I have to go get my dogs from the groomers. I missed the first 20 minutes. I didn't even miss that much. I missed that
That's
first,
not so bad.
the AT-AT when he attacked the AT-AT scene is really all I missed. I did endure the
It is
entire,
bad.
the entire Grogu reviving Mando hour and a half of the show. But yes,
Yeah.
I should have done what you did and just left halfway through, and that would have been a
Mhm.
much better choice.
Yeah.
The other news article that I did find, which we talked about it before, but I think there's actually a release date now, which is, and also I'm pretty excited for it because I thought it was going to be just for like Steam, but there's a whole Star Wars pack for Power Wash Simulator 2, which
Oh
is
my
what I
God.
have, but it launches on July 16th, so it's coming up soon. It's $9.99, and it allows you to play as a Class 5 labor droid, a POW2, to scrub down iconic muck-covered ships and locations from the original trilogy. You will be able to travel from Tatooine, including Lars Homestead, so you'll be able to clean Lars Homestead,
Oh,
to the
good,
ice
good.
fields of Hoth and board iconic starships like the Millennium Falcon and X-Wing and Super Star Destroyer Bridge.
How are you running a power washer in Hoth? That's just gonna freeze everywhere.
Stop. This isn't real.
What?
You're gonna have to have a heater unit on the end of your power washer that sprays
Oh,
hot water. Yeah.
course. Yes.
Your
That freezes
traditional
faster, but anyway.
right. Your traditional tools are replaced by a bespoke, a Star Wars themed power washer designed for a more civilized and soapy age. There will be a campaign and co-op. The DLC features a narrative-driven campaign and supports solo play or up to 4-player online co-op in free play. And it will be for PlayStation and for the Xbox as well as for Steam and the PC. So it looks like I'm going to have to plug my PS4 back in and plug in my Power Wash Simulator 2 game again and download this $9.99 pack because as dumb as the Power Washer 2 simulator game is, it is so entertaining, let me tell you. It's just hours of just like trying to make sure you get every little speck of dirt.
I feel like that's what you run into with everyone who plays like the lawn mowing simulators and everything like
Uh-huh.
that. It's like I'm not having to try too hard, but like at least got a goal that I could
Uh,
keep working towards.
yes,
So
yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's just like it's just mindless spraying, and then when it's all done, it blings and it says congratulations. It's now nice and clean, and you feel successful. So you'll be able to
mhm.
successfully clean a lot of Star Wars things. And you said you have a rumor, James?
Well, before that, there's more video game news
Okay.
because we finally got gameplay footage of Star Wars Zero Company.
Oh,
So
nice.
this came out at Summer Game Fest in 2026. And this has really opened my eyes to the kind of game this is, which is like a turn-based tactics game. I didn't think it was going to be like in this style. So this is popularized by XCOM or on Nintendo, it's like the Rayman Rabbits and Mario kind of crossover, where like you tell a character what to do, give them an objective, and then it's like turn based of whoever goes next.
Okay.
And there's a lot. They talk about a lot of like customizability and different species that you can recruit and get things. So I'm like, I am suddenly way more excited for this game than I was from that initial trailer.
Very cool. I like that.
So cool to see that.
Yeah.
And then the rumor is Star Wars 10 in the works, which we've heard this rumor before with the idea that the Simon Kinberg trilogy was going to be episodes 10, 11, 12. But it's resurfacing again about all of this, that we're going to keep on having this continue on because the rumor is like Daisy Ridley and the character Ray might be coming back as part of this as well. So um, nothing concrete by any means, and there's never been official word of that's what we're getting for a 10, 11, 12. But there's a lot of rumors out there popping out that it's like this is going to fit in the timeline to continue the story.
Very cool. Well, I like the sound of that
Hmm.
because maybe, well, I hopefully, I mean, it's years away at this point, but
Yes.
it's got to be good story writing. That's all it comes down to. It's got to be good blockbuster story writing. So, and I think we've talked about it. That's where the downfall was of the Mandalorian movie, which was it was a good television show, but wasn't a good blockbuster movie show. So,
Yep. Exactly.
all right. And we'll do one last thing if you have it.
I do.
All right. So let's.
Yeah. I'm the Jedi of the week. I've been running it like I've been Yoda for a minute. Putting on a clinic with my homie Obi.
Like I said, I'm cutting everything short.
Yes. Yes. We're moving along.
We're moving along. This is the speed round.
Yeah. Absolutely. Going so fast, we skipped a letter
Oh no.
because I know the letter U only had like deep legends cuts that I'm like, I have no idea about this. Or pages had Untitled Jedi Knight, Untitled
I
Jedi.
like that one. That's my favorite Jedi Knight is
Yeah.
Untitled Jedi Knight. Yes.
Yeah. So I thought about how do I give praise to all of these people that were on the screen but no names, but couldn't come up with it in time. So
Where the
we're just
Jedi is
flying.
this guy here, Untitled
Yeah.
Jedi Knight.
Exactly. Exactly what it is. So no story there. So we go to the letter V. The letter V takes us back to the High Republic, where we are going to talk about Jedi Master Vernestra Roa. So not the most familiar name. Vernestra showed up a ton in the High Republic books. She debuted as a young knight in High Republic Test of a Courage, and then followed up again in Out of the Shadows. What was neat about her is like she at the time for sure was the ultimate prodigy. So she was a Murialan or Murialan or Murialan. Yeah, one of those
One of
with the
those.
whip that looks exactly like that. So
Yes, the
you might
lightsaber
recognize,
whip.
yeah, which showed up in The Acolyte. So that's
Mhm.
where we really saw a lot of that come through as well. Um, typically whips, light whips, as they tend to be called, are associated with Sith and dark side. So it was super interesting that she modified her purple lightsaber to qualify with that one, really feeding into her adaptability and willingness to bend traditions and stuff. And so we saw her again in the Acolyte. Like I said, she became a Jedi Knight, 15 years old, had a lot of imposter syndrome and other things to really figure out, but showed up when she was old, 100 years after all of that. So we see her as an elder master, burdened, secretive, and deeply entrenched in Republic politics and all of those other goodies. And so just kind of a little bit inside of there, not necessarily. Yeah, exactly.
It's a really small image. So it really
It is a very small image, but yes.
yeah, that was her in the Acolyte. Yep.
Can't give too much screen time to the Acolyte,
No,
right? So,
And
but
the
totally
fact that
different world.
yeah, and the fact that they had everybody was all hyped up about the whip and the Acolyte. She did it one time, and that was the end of it.
I
And we were
know.
like,
I was like,
"Ah."
this is what we're here for. So,
Yes, this is what we're here for. So, all right.
yeah,
Well, I think that should pretty much do a great job. You did a great job with finding a V person since we couldn't find any U people, whatever.
I know. It's
Unnamed
tragic.
Jedi is my favorite Jedi. That's what I'm going to be for Halloween is unnamed
Good.
Jedi.
Good. I hope so. I hope so.
All right. Well, I think you're gonna have a friend on next show because I'm going to
Yes.
be in Jamaica. Jamaica me crazy.
Yeah, you enjoy that. My friend is
I
working
would.
on a wild spreadsheet of some
Uh-oh.
sort for us to go with. She
Oh boy.
loves spreadsheets, so I'm excited
Spreadsheets.
for the topic and the tales that she has for us. So,
Okay, I'm gonna be replaced on my own show. James is gonna be like, no, we'll record 3 days from now, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden,
it's
new Bantha
fine.
Milk podcasts are gonna be
Fine.
popping out all over the place, and I'm not gonna be in them anymore.
Oh, we can't
So
take the original out.
I know. I hope not. I hope not. So, but all right. Well, this has been awesome. It was a lot of fun talking to Ron.
Yeah, it
And
was
we were
great.
able to finish up our stuff. And once again, we just keep going. We love this. We love talking about Star Wars. So until next time, we have spoken.
We have spoken.
The right window treatments change everything: your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 50% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.